The underground research facility nestled deep beneath the Atacama Desert hummed with quiet intensity. Hyun Park adjusted her glasses, scanning the complex array of holographic displays that filled the circular control room. Around her, a team of dedicated scientists worked with a mix of nervous energy and calculated precision. For decades, humanity had been underestimated by the galactic community. They were seen as a primitive species, barely worthy of notice. But here, in this hidden facility, something extraordinary was about to change everything. The Dark Matter Project had been a closely guarded secret. Years of research, billions of dollars, and the collective brilliance of humanity's top minds had converged on this single moment. Hyun Park knew the stakes were higher than anyone could imagine. Her fingers danced across the holographic interface, bringing up intricate schematics of a spacecraft unlike anything previously conceived. The vessel looked deceptively simple, sleek, almost organic in its design, with no visible propulsion systems or traditional energy signatures. Its hull seemed to shimmer slightly, as if not entirely committed to existing in a single physical space. "System check," she called out to her team. Jisoo, her primary engineer, responded immediately. "All parameters are stable. Dark matter containment at 99.7% efficiency." His voice was steady, but a subtle tremor of excitement underscored his professional tone. The prototype spacecraft, nicknamed Horizon, represented humanity's most significant technological leap. Unlike conventional spacecraft that relied on traditional propulsion, this vessel could manipulate dark matter to achieve seemingly impossible feats. It could phase through solid matter, become completely undetectable, and potentially travel faster than light itself. Outside the facility, the harsh desert landscape concealed their work. Miles of rocky terrain and extreme temperatures provided natural protection against any potential external observation. The research complex was a marvel of engineering, built to withstand extreme conditions and remain completely undetectable by satellite or ground-based scanning technologies. Hyun Park remembered the early days of the project. Most international space agencies had dismissed dark matter research as theoretical fantasy. Governments had cut funding, scientific communities had laughed, and alien diplomatic channels had consistently ignored humanity's potential. But she and her team knew different. Initiating primary test sequence, she announced. The room fell silent. Monitors flickered with complex mathematical equations and energy readouts. Each scientist held their breath, knowing this moment could change everything. The horizon began to hum. Its outer shell started to ripple, like water disturbed by a gentle breeze. Traditional physics suggested this should be impossible. Matter shouldn't behave this way. But the dark matter technology was rewriting the rules of scientific understanding. Suddenly, the spacecraft began to fade. Not physically disappear, but become less definite, its boundaries blurring, its solid form becoming translucent. Jisoo's monitors showed incredible data. The vessel was phasing between different quantum states, effectively existing and not existing simultaneously. "Quantum stability at 92%, he reported, his voice a mix of scientific precision and barely contained excitement. Hyun Park allowed herself a small smile. They were close. So close to proving that humanity was not just another footnote in the galaxy's grand narrative. This technology could change everything: space travel, military capabilities, scientific understanding. The alien races that had ignored and underestimated humanity would soon learn a harsh lesson. Technological superiority was not about size or current capabilities, but about innovation, imagination, and the relentless human drive to push beyond known boundaries. As the Horizon continued its test sequence, Hyun Park knew they were witnessing the dawn of a new era. Humanity was about to stun the galactic community in ways no one could predict. The dark matter warship shimmered, a silent promise of the revolution to come. The massive alien diplomatic vessel approached Earth's orbit, its crystalline hull reflecting the sunlight in mesmerizing patterns. Captain Wu of the Galactic Diplomatic Corps felt supremely confident. Another routine visit to a primitive planet, another opportunity to remind the humans of their insignificance in the vast cosmic hierarchy. Inside the Earth's primary diplomatic reception center, a team of human representatives waited. They looked calm, almost too calm for a species about to meet an advanced alien civilization. Jae Kim, the lead human diplomat, stood with his hands clasped behind his back, watching the incoming vessel on multiple holographic screens. The alien delegation descended with practiced ceremonial precision. Their bodies were tall and slender, with iridescent skin that shifted colors based on emotional states. Ambassador Tark, the lead representative, carried himself with an air of superiority that suggested centuries of unchallenged galactic dominance. "Greetings, representatives of Earth," Ambassador Tark announced, his translator converting his complex language into smooth English. "We come to assess your species' development and potential integration into the galactic community." Jae Kim stepped forward, his movements deliberate and controlled. "Welcome to Earth," he responded, his tone neutral and professional. The aliens expected a display of nervousness, perhaps even a hint of primitive awe. Instead, they were met with a calm, almost indifferent reception. This was not the typical response from a species they considered technologically backward. Ambassador Tark began his standard diplomatic speech, a rehearsed monologue about galactic protocols and the potential for Earth's gradual technological development. He spoke slowly, as if explaining complex concepts to children. "Your species shows promise, but significant technological advancements will take several centuries." As he spoke, subtle changes began happening in the reception room. Holographic displays around the aliens started to shift, showing complex data streams that seemed to move faster than their scanning systems could track. The human team remained perfectly composed. Jae Kim interrupted the ambassador mid-speech. "We have a demonstration prepared," he said simply. Before the aliens could respond, a holographic projection materialized in the center of the room. It showed a spacecraft, sleek, unlike anything the alien delegation had ever seen. The vessel seemed to shimmer, its boundaries undefined, existing in a state that defied conventional understanding of physical matter. Ambassador Tark's skin color shifted from a confident blue to a confused purple. His universal translator struggled to process the technological complexity of what he was witnessing. "This is impossible," he muttered, his professional composure cracking. The holographic projection showed the spacecraft phasing through solid matter, becoming invisible, then reappearing at impossible speeds. Each movement challenged everything the alien delegation understood about space travel and physics. Jae Kim watched their reaction with a hint of a smile. "We call it dark matter technology," he explained. "I believe you'll find our understanding of quantum mechanics somewhat more advanced than you anticipated." The alien delegates exchanged panicked glances. Their entire diplomatic strategy was built on the assumption of human technological inferiority. This single demonstration destroyed decades of galactic political calculations. Ambassador Tark's translator began to stutter, unable to process the rapid technological information being presented. His elegant, condescending demeanor collapsed, replaced by a look of pure shock. Humans had not just made a technological leap. They had created a quantum jump that would redefine galactic understanding of technological progress. As the demonstration concluded, the silence in the room was deafening. The alien delegation had arrived expecting to teach, and instead found themselves completely unprepared to comprehend what they were seeing. Jae Kim stepped forward. "I believe we have much to discuss," he said calmly, watching the aliens struggle to process their new reality. The first contact had not gone according to anyone's expectations. Humanity was about to change the rules of the galactic game, and no one, least of all the overconfident alien delegation, was prepared for what was coming. The demonstration arena was a massive, circular chamber designed to showcase technological capabilities. Representatives from 17 different alien civilizations sat in tiered seating, their anticipation mixed with skepticism. They had come to witness humanity's claimed technological breakthrough, expecting nothing more than a modest display of rudimentary engineering. Hyun Park stood at the central control panel, her fingers hovering over holographic interfaces. Beside her, the Horizon spacecraft waited, a sleek, almost living machine that seemed to breathe with potential energy. The room hummed with an electric tension that even the most experienced alien diplomats could feel. "Initiate primary sequence," she commanded. The Horizon began to move. But this was no ordinary movement. Instead of traditional propulsion, the spacecraft seemed to ripple through space itself. Its boundaries blurred, becoming less defined, more suggestion than solid matter. The first demonstration targeted a series of advanced energy shields, technology that had been considered impenetrable by every known galactic civilization. Previous spacecraft would have crashed or been deflected. The horizon simply passed through, as if the shields were nothing more than smoke. Alien representatives leaned forward, their universal translators struggling to process what they were witnessing. Some began recording, others simply stared in disbelief. Jisu's voice came through the communication system. Quantum phase shift at 98% efficiency. No structural integrity loss detected. The spacecraft continued its demonstration. It disappeared completely, becoming invisible to even the most advanced scanning technologies. Then, moments later, it reappeared in a completely different location, instantaneously, without any visible transition. "Impossible," muttered a Krellan representative, his tentacle-like appendages trembling. The next sequence was even more shocking. The horizon deployed a weapon system that didn't fire traditional projectiles or energy beams. Instead, it seemed to manipulate matter at its most fundamental quantum level. A series of test objects, solid metal cubes, energy barriers, complex technological structures simply ceased to exist. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Simply gone. The room fell into complete silence. J. Kim, standing at the observation deck, allowed himself a small smile. Years of secret research, billions of dollars of investment, and countless sleepless nights had led to this moment. Humanity was no longer going to be overlooked. The demonstration continued. The horizon showed capabilities that rewrote everything known about space travel, weapon systems, and quantum mechanics. It could phase through solid matter, become completely undetectable, manipulate quantum structures, travel faster than light using dark matter. Each alien civilization represented in the chamber was simultaneously impressed, terrified, and completely overwhelmed. Ambassador Tark, who had been so condescending during the first contact, now looked like he might collapse. His sophisticated universal translator was producing nothing more than static, unable to process the technological information flooding its systems. "This changes everything," whispered a Zorn diplomatic representative, her multiple eyes blinking in rapid succession. Hyun Park knew this was more than a technological demonstration. This was a statement. Humanity was declaring its place in the galactic community not as a permission, but as a fact. The horizon made one final maneuver. It split into multiple copies of itself, each existing in a different quantum state, then merged back into a single vessel. The laws of physics seemed to bend and reshape themselves around the spacecraft. As the demonstration concluded, no applause came. Just stunned silence. J. Kim stepped forward. "We are ready to discuss our place in the galactic community," he said simply. The alien representatives looked at each other, realizing that everything they understood about technological progression had just been completely destroyed. Humanity was not just joining the galactic stage, they were about to redefine it entirely. The future had arrived, and it was nothing like anyone had expected. The Galactic Space Council chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives from dozens of advanced civilizations shouted, argued, and gestured wildly. The human demonstration had shattered everything they believed about technological development and interstellar power dynamics. Admiral Suk Ryu stood at the center of the massive circular chamber, his presence calm but unmistakably powerful. Behind him, holographic displays showed detailed technical specifications of humanity's dark matter technology. Each image told a story of innovation that defied centuries of established scientific understanding. "We are not requesting permission," Suk Ryu stated, his voice cutting through the diplomatic noise. "We are informing you of our new status." The Krellan representative, a tentacled being whose skin shifted between angry shades of red and purple, attempted to interrupt. "Your species was categorized as a primitive civilization merely decades ago. This is impossible." Suk Ryu's holographic presentation continued. Images of dark matter warships phasing through complex energy barriers, quantum weapons that could disassemble molecular structures, and propulsion systems that laughed at lightspeed limitations played out like a strategic dance of technological superiority. Diplomatic protocols crumbled. The carefully maintained hierarchies of the galactic community trembled at their foundations. Humanity had not just entered the stage, they had rewritten the entire script. Behind the scenes, scientists like Hyun Park and Jisoo watched the proceedings, understanding the deeper implications. This was more than a technological breakthrough. This was a complete restructuring of galactic power dynamics. The Zorn diplomatic team looked particularly terrified. Their centuries of technological superiority had been built on assumptions that now seemed laughably outdated. Humanity had leapfrogged entire generations of technological development in what seemed like moments. "We propose a new framework of interaction," Suk Ryu continued. His words were not a request. They were a declaration. The council chamber fell into an uncomfortable silence. Each alien representative did the mental calculations. Humanity's dark matter technology meant they could neutralize any existing defense systems, travel anywhere in the galaxy undetected, potentially destroy entire planetary systems with minimal effort, render current diplomatic power structures completely obsolete. Ambassador Tark, who had been so condescending during the first contact, now looked like a defeated politician. His sophisticated universal translator produced nothing but confused static. Suk Ryu's final presentation showed something even more terrifying. Humanity was not just presenting a weapon. They were showing a completely new understanding of physics, space, and technological interaction. "We are not asking to join your community," he said quietly. "We are telling you how we will participate." The political tremors spread quickly. Within hours, emergency sessions were called on multiple planetary systems. The news traveled faster than light. Humanity had arrived, and they were not interested in traditional rules. Hyun Park watched the broadcasts from her research facility, a subtle smile crossing her face. Years of hidden research, decades of being underestimated, had led to this moment of profound transformation. The alien races began rapid consultations. Some proposed aggressive actions. Others suggested diplomatic negotiations. But everyone understood one fundamental truth: nothing would be the same again. Humanity had not just entered the galactic stage. They had completely redesigned it. As the day concluded, the Galactic Space Council was left with a single, terrifying realization. The game had changed. And humanity was now writing the rules. The tremors would continue. And nothing could stop them. 6 months after the technological demonstration, the galaxy looked completely different. Humanity had transformed from a barely noticed species to the most significant technological power in known space. The Galactic Space Council now met in a completely redesigned chamber. Where once alien representatives had sat in hierarchical positions, they now gathered in a circular arrangement, with human representatives at the center. Hyun Park watched the proceedings from a secure monitoring station. Her dark matter research had become the foundation of a new technological era. The quantum principles her team had discovered were now being studied and adapted by every advanced civilization. Admiral Suk Ryu handled diplomatic interactions with calculated precision. He understood that humanity's strength was not just in technological superiority, but in the calm, methodical way they approached galactic politics. The first major shift came when 3 distant planetary systems requested human protection. Their existing defense systems had become obsolete compared to humanity's dark matter technology. Instead of traditional military agreements, humans offered technological upgrades and scientific collaboration. "We are not conquerors," Suk Ryu would explain during negotiations. "We are partners in technological evolution." The alien races discovered something unexpected about humanity. Unlike previous dominant civilizations, humans were more interested in shared progress than territorial control. Their dark matter technology was offered as a collaborative tool, not a weapon of subjugation. Planetary defense systems were rebuilt using human quantum principles. Space travel became safer, faster, and more efficient. The entire concept of interstellar interaction was reimagined. Jisoo's research team continued developing new applications of dark matter technology. They discovered methods of planetary terraforming, advanced medical treatments, and energy production techniques that solved centuries-old resource challenges. The Galactic Economic Council estimated that human technological contributions would increase overall galactic productivity by 300% within a decade. What had started as a secret research project in the Atacama Desert was now reshaping entire civilizations. Diplomatic protocols were rewritten. The hierarchical structures that had existed for thousands of years collapsed, replaced by a more collaborative model. Humanity had not conquered through military might, but through intellectual innovation. Most surprisingly, human representatives showed no interest in political dominance. They were scientists, researchers, and explorers first. Their goal was not control, but understanding. Ambassador Tark, who had once been so dismissive, now led diplomatic missions promoting human-alien collaborative research. The transformation was complete and unexpected. Space exploration entered a new era. Missions that would have taken centuries now took weeks. Medical technologies could repair genetic damage. Energy production became clean and unlimited. Hyun Park reflected on their journey. From a hidden research facility to the center of galactic innovation, humanity had rewritten its own story. No longer would they be considered a primitive species. They were now the architects of a new technological age. The dark matter warships that had once stunned the Galactic Space Council now served as symbols of collaborative potential. They were not weapons of destruction, but tools of discovery. As the first human-alien joint research station was launched, something became clear. Humanity's greatest weapon was not its technology, but its relentless curiosity and desire to understand. The galaxy would never be the same. And humanity had just begun its journey. In the quiet of her research facility, Hyun Park allowed herself a small smile. They had done it. They had changed everything.